fairness continues. Here again is Richard French.
Welcome back. As we've told you, sitting behind me is an imposing piece of real estate, Rikers Island. Rikers consists of 10 separate jails which are operated by towns and cities, and they differ from state control or federal control prisons. Jails like Rikers, they hold local offenders who are awaiting trial and can't afford or obtain bail, as well as those serving a sentence of 1 year or less. Jails, they're where the bail problem often takes root. The worldwide organization Human Rights Watch is known for taking stands on some of the most serious issues of our times. From the modern sex trade to genocide in Rwanda to ethnic cleansing in the former Yugoslavia, the organization monitors and reports on human rights abuses all over the globe. It is a serious organization doing serious work. And Jamie Fellner of the organization's New York headquarters considers the jail and bail system in New York a very serious violation of basic human rights. In an HRW report called The Price of Freedom, Fellner and her staff found the following startling statistics. Among defendants arrested in 2008 on non-felony charges and given bail of $1,000 or less, only 13% of the defendants were able to post bail at arraignment. In other words, 87% of the defendants, they went to jail.
Now you might think $1,000 isn't so much or $500 isn't so much, but if you're homeless, if you're living on the street, if you're working at a minimum wage job, if you've got a family and you're scrambling to pay the rent at the end of every month, $500 is a lot of money.
RFL researchers went through hundreds of documents trying to pin down how many of the 12,000 or so inmates are being held on Rikers now because they just couldn't make bail. After repeated requests, Riker officials released some details on the exact number of inmates being held on a relatively small bail number. In this case, small was defined as $1,000 or less. Out of the approximately 9,295 pretrial detainees held on any given day, 667 of those had a bail set at either $1,000, $500, or $250. 153 had bail at less than that. This former top cop, who asked that we not show his face on camera for fear of alienation from fellow officers, he's walked these blocks in East Harlem for years, eventually rising to the rank of lieutenant and therefore known in and on the streets as simply Lou. He thinks the current system of jail and bail has simply run amok.
I'm 65 right now, and I know in my lifetime it's not changing. It's going to take another 30, 35 years to change that system. And God help us all until it does.
If you're behind bars, the chances of your being able to mount a successful defense are far lower. And so the risk is they'll get people behind bars saying it's for public safety. And it's just another way in which they hold all the cards.
Coming up next, how many of those who plead guilty to minor offenses are actually guilty? Well, some critics of the system claim pleading guilty to a minor offense is the fastest, cheapest, and easiest way for some with little means to try and get out of jail.
They're sitting there presumed innocent in spending days, weeks, months, sometimes even years on what is sometimes, what we describe as relatively low bail for us, but not for them.
And then we meet those bail bondsmen defending the indefensible or simply exercising their right to make large fees from small-time offenders. Much more on bail or jail for getting fairness. That's coming up.